It's Charter Local Edition. Brad Pomerance here in the San Gabriel Valley today, and we are joined by Bill Rue. He is a councilman in the city of Montclair, which is just inside San Bernardino County. He is also the chair of the State Water Resources Control Board Region 8, which covers San Bernardino County, Riverside County, and Orange County. So you know from what you speak when we're talking about the drought. I want to talk about where we stand today. I think it's fair to say Californians, when we had mandatory restrictions, were doing quite well. 25% overall reduction.
Correct. We were doing very well.
So back, I guess, earlier this year, Governor Brown, because there was more rain in Northern California, decided to pull those back. Talk to me about that decision and how it's played out.
He actually looked at making it voluntary,
right,
which is good. The issue is, are residents willing to continue to do what they've been doing? Voluntary is what they had asked for all along. Don't make it mandatory. We can show you we can conserve more voluntarily. Right. You remember those discussions?
I do.
What's happened is, I don't think the mindset is there.
And look, the numbers don't lie. The reality is that when we were facing mandatory restrictions where both individuals and water boards could be fined if they didn't meet their targets, we were doing much better in terms of conservation. The latest news is while we were around 25%, even higher during mandatory restriction days, we've dipped below 20%.
Right. Residents need to understand this could be the new norm.
Right.
Nobody's trying to punish them. What we're trying to do, whether it's your local city, your local water board, whether it's a state agency, we're trying to let people know that this could be many years. We've got to find a way for you to cut back. We're trying voluntarily.
Well, I mean, consider this. When we look at the last few years, what we know is the last 4 years are the driest since 1895.
Correct.
We know the last 2 years are the hottest on record in the state. I mean, these times they're spooky.
They are. And I think that a resident reacts because they've got an investment in their landscaping.
Right.
They feel that this is the way to make a community look good, and yet we can prove differently. You can put in drought-tolerant landscaping.
You know, it's funny you say that because the MWD, the Municipal Water District of Southern California, they offered some very aggressive rebates. And
they did.
And
they were used up right away.
And that's my point, which was fascinating. And the rebates focused on removing turf and putting in artificial turf. They were used up right away. And we also started to see this kind of desert chic look come into play. Are we seeing more of that? I mean,
in some cases you are, but to make sure you have the best decision for your property, you should consult with your local water agency. They'll tell you the plants that are appropriate. In the area near Montclair, we have the Chino Basin Water Conservation District. As a property owner, you can go there. They will help you draw out a landscape that fits your climate zone. So you're in Montclair, where I am. Our climate zone is completely different from, say, Rancho Cucamonga.
Come on, how? Tell me.
Because different soil, the way the air is, whether you're closer to the foothills, whether you're
flatland.
So tell us,
what do you know? I mean, Montclair is only 4 square miles, but...
So our climate zone, because has different plants. You're not going to be able to do, say, what you could do in Chino Hills, where you might be able to put in bird of paradise, because you have the microclimate in the morning in Chino Hills of more moisture in the air. Montclair is more dry, so we have to look at that. But you can put in things like English lavender. It does very well. It's beautiful. But they will help you draw out appropriate for your area. They will also tell you where you can get those plants. And they have a demonstration garden there that you can walk through and look at it and say, well, that's what it looks if it's this
and this
style.
Is what the Chino tells you?
Chino Basin Water Conservation District. They're on San Bernardino Road in Montclair. I don't have the number in front of me.
It's all good.
But we can find it.
Yeah.
They're open on Saturdays. They have workshops, everything from compost to drought tolerant to the appropriate type of water you have to give your plants, because we tend to overwater in California.
I want to talk about
even our street trees. You can do those tree donuts.
Let's talk about what we've seen in some of the communities right on that LA
Right.
County, San Bernardino County line. So in Chino Hills, for example, the state target had been 28%.
Right.
In August, they saved just 10.2%. In Chino,
Okay.
21% had been their target. They're at 12.6%. In Ontario, their target had been 20%. They saved in August 11%. Upland, their target was a pretty high 34%. They were just under 20%.
Right.
Is that what we're seeing in Montclair?
We're starting to see some of that. Our target was 28%. We've managed to keep at about 28%.
How? I mean,
I
they
think-
didn't do it.
I think it has to do, we tend to have smaller lots than some of those communities.
I see.
And I think that early on, we engaged the residents with Monte Vista Water District very early on about this and the need to do that. You will drive through and people get upset. They'll say, I see a lot of brown lawns. I said, those brown lawns are the people doing the right thing. In other cases, I think you have, especially in places, Chino Hills or Upland perhaps, where you have larger homes, larger lots, the landscaping is more.
Right.
They may have cut back on their water, but not enough to keep that landscape the way they want it. So they may have to start looking at different types of landscaping.
Now, I remember you told me that when you moved to Montclair, or I think your parents moved
My
to
parents
Montclair, Orange Groves.
Orange groves. Dirt road in the middle of an orange grove.
Any ag still in your community?
Not really. We have a demonstration citrus grove at the Reeder Family Ranch on Holt Boulevard.
What about in the area?
But in the area, there really isn't much left. There's some ag in Chino, obviously, but not citrus. There just isn't much left anymore. It's become developed homes and commercial properties.
Because the reason I ask that is, ag has really struggled a bit.
They have.
I mean, if you think about what happened in the last year, for example, they lost nearly $2 billion. 10,000 jobs were essentially eliminated. They had to fallow about 6% statewide. But then there's been this frustration that some folks believe, well, why do we as households and non-farm users have to do all the savings where ag doesn't? I think that's a false...
It is. And we need the ag industry in California.
Right.
Can they do better? Some of them have already done that.
Drip irrigation.
Right. If you go back to the last big drought we had, you'll remember the grape vineyards.
Right.
They started to find a new way to grow the grapes with drip, micro irrigation, things like that. They're getting bigger yield.
Right.
They're doing better. We have to look at that for ag itself, but it's a huge investment for them. If you have a large farm, you have not just hundreds of thousands of dollars in equipment, probably millions of dollars invested over the life of that.
In Region 8, which is Riverside, San Bernardino, and Orange.
We do have some ag left.
And so what's happening there? I mean, how are you all doing?
I think we're doing well. I think the ag providers have stepped up and said, we understand what needs to be done.
I mean, Riverside still has some orange
They
groves.
still have orange groves. There's still dairying out there.
Right.
You have the remaining area. You have the remaining area of the community of Eastvale, which still has some dairies in it. You go out into the San Jacinto Valley, they still have some dairying. From what I've seen, they really are trying to make some very good strides in cutting back. You've also seen in those areas some of the ag communities saying, well, we don't need to do that this year, so we'll just let that be dry so we can use the water over here. You've also started to see, and in Glendora, they have a great example of it, where the country club did a lot of Metropolitan Water District rebates, got rid of any of the turf they didn't need. It looks prettier. The golfers are happy.
Wow.
So you're starting to see some of that where even the big users who want lush green everything are starting to say, what can we do to change it out a little bit, keep what we need, but still cut back.
His name is Bill Rue. He is a councilman in the city of Montclair, also a chair of Region 8 California Water
Regional
Control.
Water Quality Control
There you
Board.
go. I'm Brad Pomerance, Charter Local Edition.